Happy New Year. I know it's been a while. I'm back, and as you can see from the title, I just had a baby. I gave birth on the 3rd of January at 5:36 a.m. I know some of you might have seen it on Instagram, but I'm now a mom of 3. It feels so surreal, like it's just like a dream, but it's reality. It's reality. I'm so happy, guys. I'm so happy. But before we get into the pregnancy and labor, delivery story gist, I just want to thank every one of you that reached out to me during my YouTube social media break. Thank you so much for the love, for the care. I didn't plan to take a very long break like this, but in October I fell ill, and I just said to myself, Bukola, just use this time to rest and prepare for the arrival of your bundle of joy. So thank you, guys. Grazie, grazie. So now let's get into the gist. Let's gist. So I found out I was pregnant in May. I fell ill with a fever and sore throat. I don't know if you guys remember my getting tested in the hospital video. Yeah, where I fell ill, and I thought I had contracted corona. So I called my doctor, maybe he could prescribe a drug for me and all that. And my doctor didn't just want to prescribe anything, because I'm a woman, and he also knows I'm a mother, so he had to ask the first day of my last period. So I told him, and after telling him, I realized that I'm 2 days late. And I was like, this is strange, because my periods are always regular. And I told my doctor, I think I'm pregnant, but I'm not sure. He said, okay, you know what, I'm going to, for now, just take paracetamol, don't take any other drug, just take tachypirina, which is a paracetamol here. And my doctor told me to do HCG blood pregnancy test, and to also do a throat swab to know what's happening, because some months earlier I had my tonsil stones removed, and I didn't understand why I was having the sore throat. So immediately I got back home, I told my husband to get me a pregnancy test kit, and I took the test, but nothing was showing. And I think because of the anxiety and everything, I didn't do the test. I didn't carry out the test well. So I told him, go get me another one. He went to the pharmacy, he got another kit for me. I immediately took the test. I just saw the double the double red lines. I was like, no, there might be a mistake. I took another test. It came out positive as well. I was stunned. I was like, oh God, I'm pregnant. But I still wasn't convinced. So after some days, the HCG blood test, the pregnancy test came out, and it was positive. I said to myself, oh God, oh boy, I'm pregnant. But I still wasn't convinced. I still wasn't convinced. But after some days, I started having the morning sickness. No, I started sleeping in the afternoon. I started taking naps, and I'm not the kind of person that usually sleep in the afternoon. I hardly take naps. If I sleep in the afternoon, that means there's something wrong with me. Then I started sleeping in the afternoon. It's like, what? I said to myself, no, Bukola, just accept it, you're pregnant. But that thing, there was another voice telling me, maybe it's a mistake, these things happen. Until I went for my first ultrasound, and I just saw that little peanut and heard my baby's heartbeats for the first time. I was like, oh yeah, I'm pregnant. When I got home, I told my husband, didn't we say we're done having babies? Why did you get me pregnant again? My husband and I had decided that, oh, we are done having babies, let's just enjoy our lives and all that, these children. But God, you know, God has his own plan. God was just watching us and say, you these children, calm down, there's still that one coming. So that's how we found out I was pregnant. And this pregnancy was so different. It was so different. I was always sick. The morning sickness, don't let me just go there. Like, the morning sickness was so hard on me. Like, I couldn't do anything. I couldn't smell any, like, I don't even know what to say. I can't explain it. Like, I threw up to week 37. Can you imagine? Like, I was just always tired, back pain, like, this pregnancy was something different entirely. My first and second pregnancy weren't like this at all, and recording YouTube videos weren't easy for me, especially during my first trimester. There were times I'll be filming a YouTube video and I would just run to the bathroom to throw up. Like, but I was just saying to myself, no, just continue. This was the reason I was always taking my YouTube breaks, because there were times that I just couldn't anymore. So it wasn't easy, but we thank God for everything. Being pregnant, especially during this COVID period, can be so hard. I went for my baby scans alone. It was just like, I just felt kind of lonely. Not lonely, like, COVID just changed many things, you know. I wished I shared some moments with my husband and my children, you know, maybe during the baby scan. You know, I would have loved for him to be there as well, you know, but you know, it is what it is. So before Christmas, my obstetrician told me I'll be having a C-section because of my previous delivery, and because of the type of incision I had on my uterus. A vaginal birth was not advised. A VBAC was contraindicated. So we went for a planned C-section, and I was scheduled for the 8th of January. So before then, I had, you know, taken like 2 COVID tests, you know, because you know you have to take this test if you be giving birth in the hospital, because you have to stay in the hospital with other people, and they just have to be sure that you are negative. So fast forward to the 31st of December, I started having contractions, but they were sporadic, and on the 2nd of January night, I just couldn't sleep. Like, I spoke to my mom that day, I spoke to my mom that evening, and I told her, Mom, I'm feeling it's close. But, and you know, she was just like, she prayed for me and all that, and I was just chatting with my husband that 2nd of January, and I told my husband, you know, because that day was a Saturday, the 2nd of January, and I told him, is it that I'm going to give birth on Sunday again? Because I had Bethel on a Sunday, Shiloh on a Sunday, and I told him, this one, I'm feeling this contraction, this baby, does he want to come on Sunday? So my husband was like, I was thinking the same thing. So that night, I just couldn't sleep. These contractions, they were becoming more intense, they were becoming stronger and more painful, but they were still sporadic. So I just couldn't sleep that day. I just couldn't close my eyes. Around 2 a.m. I just went to the bathroom, I took a shower, and something told me, just dress up, and my husband came to meet me, and he was like, Bukola, Buki, are you okay? Like, I told him, I think I'm going to give birth today, but I wasn't sure. I told him, go to bed. So he went to bed, but he couldn't sleep as well. Around 3 a.m. I just started feeling the pains were now stronger, and I told him, please call my brother, because we need someone to come, and if he has to take me to the hospital, I'll need someone to come and stay with my girls, with my daughters, excuse me. And my brother will be going to work that day around 7 a.m. So I told him, call Tayo, then after call Tayo to come stay with the girls, then call my sister as well, so she will stay with Bethel and Shiloh when Tayo goes to work. So sorry guys if I'm talking like this, I'm not really a good storyteller. Like, I prefer writing stories than telling the stories. So called my brother came immediately. He received my husband's call, and I was just like, the pain, I was trying to hold the pain. I was trying to practice my breathing. When he came, when my husband took my hospital bags to my hospital bags to the car, came outside, and I couldn't do all those breathing exercises anymore. I just forgot everything about breathing, and I was just like, hey, woo. And my husband was telling me, shh. I gave him one look like, don't tell me to shh. Like, you know, it was just like, you know, people are sleeping, and you know, I was just like like, he didn't say it to hurt me, like it was just like, keep it calm. But you know, men, they don't understand the pain, and you know, the pain will go, it will come back again. On our way to the hospital, the police stopped us because in Italy we are under curfew from 10 p.m. to 7 a.m. So when the police stopped us and saw how I was just breathing, and my husband just told the police officer, mia moglie deve partorire, my wife has to give birth. He just told us, go, auguri, best wishes. So we got to the hospital. Like, the hospital was like 30 to 35 minutes drive to where we live. I walked to the emergency room. They took my health insurance card. Everything just happened so fast. They did an ultrasound, and they found that my baby was breech. I wasn't even surprised. I was like, please, like, my baby was breech, and I was already in labor, so they just told me that they have to carry out an emergency C-section. But I had made up my mind already. I knew I was gonna have a C-section anyways. It was not like when I was, you know, it was not like when I had Shiloh and everything just happened, you know, like that. Like, I was prepared. So everything happened so fast. They took me to the theater. The anesthetist numbed my back, and you know, they just did, in like 10 or 15 minutes, they delivered my baby. And when I heard him cry, I was just saying, thank you, Jesus, thank you, Lord. You know, I was so happy. And stitching me up took extra 30 to 45 minutes. You know, everything just went well. I'm thankful to God. After the surgery, I was allowed to say goodbye to my husband because he couldn't enter the ward with me. He couldn't enter the room with me because of the COVID protocol, the COVID, you know, new rules and all that. So, you know, we just talked, and I told him, I asked him if he had called my mom, his mom, and everyone said yes, I've talked to everyone. I told my husband to come back in the afternoon if he wants to see me, but he would have to wait in the waiting room. Like, no one was allowed to enter the ward. So after 2 hours, my baby was brought to me. I breastfed him, even though it was so painful because while breastfeeding, I was contracting as well, you know, and it's a normal thing because your uterus has to go back to its normal shape. After 6 hours, the nurses came to clean me up. The nurses came to clean me up. They tried to help me stand and walk as well. But the pain was so excruciating. It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. Like, C-section is not easy. Like, no, even vaginal birth is not easy, but C-section, oh God, it's a major surgery. So the pain was just like, oof. And every evening I had to take an injection on my tummy to prevent blood clots, and they gave me extra 6 injections to take home. Like, when I was discharged, they gave me extra 6 injections to take home, and I had to inject myself on my tummy to prevent blood clot. Like, it wasn't easy injecting myself, but I did it as well when I had my second child. I stayed in the hospital for 4 days. 4 days because like after 3 days I was already feeling a bit better. Like I'm still recovering. Actually, I'm still recovering. My tummy still hurts. I couldn't wait to go back home because, you know, I was sharing the room with other 3 mothers who had a C-section as well. So I just thank God for everything. Like everything went on smoothly, even though like my daughters couldn't come to the hospital to see their brother at first, but when they discharged us, they came to pick us, and they were so excited to see their little brother. So for those that have been so curious to know my baby's name, his name is Matthias, even though some pronounce it as Matthias, but we prefer to pronounce it as Matthias. His name is Matthias Akonfejesu. He has lots of names. His names they are very plenty. They are plenty. But I'm just gonna tell you 2. His name is, okay, do you want me to tell you all his names? Okay, his names, no. Matthias Akonfejesu. We are so happy to have him. His sisters are excited, grandparents are excited, and his aunties and uncle are excited. We are all happy to have him. He's just like our miracle baby because we didn't expect we didn't expect the miracle. Like it's not like we didn't do the do, but we didn't expect the do to become a baby because we're trying to prevent ourselves. But our baby is healthy, is growing, we are all happy to have him, and I am back on YouTube. So we've come to the end of this video. Manage my story. I'm not so good in telling stories. Like I prefer writing stories than telling them, but I know I just want to give you guys this gist. You know, if there are questions you want to ask me, if there are videos you want me to do, feel free to write them in the comment section. I'll be so happy. You know, I love reading comments. I love reading comments. Please, and if you're new here, subscribe to this channel, support this channel, subscribe and turn on the bell so that you get notified anytime I post a new video. Thank you so much, and I will see you in my next upload. Bye bye. Ciao.